again is Aaron Smith. Being on the planning committee is one thing. Being the boots on the ground in the city that we're going to is another. And to have someone like Aaron that's there and available and makes it possible for us to put on a convention like this means the world to us, because without a person on the ground, it makes it much harder to coordinate, to get things to people, to provide the shirts and provide the programs and all those things. It takes guys on the ground to do that, and having him do that hard work for us has made it so much easier. So thank you, Aaron. Let's see.
Vamping?
You can vamp for me more. That's right.
Oh, sorry guys.
Alright, it's taking a second.
Should I go ahead and do books?
Oh yeah, do the books.
Yeah.
All right. So, you've heard about it once before, you're going to hear about it again. Shannon has a book. And he is graciously offered to give 2 books away to some of our attendees. And we've decided that it will be amongst the new attendees. So, the first book we're going to give away is to the first time attendee who has been an at-home dad the shortest amount of time. So, new guys, shout it out.
Who's the newest?
Who's the newest?
Newest stay-at-home dad.
1 year.
I get 8.5 years.
What's that? I heard
I've
1
heard
year.
1 year.
Anybody in months?
We've got less than a year.
Anybody?
I mean, technically I was 0.
Yeah, it doesn't count.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, 1 year.
1 year? Who's 1 year?
1 year. Where was the 1
Who's
year?
our 1 year?
1 year.
All right, here we go. The other is for the newest attendee who has been an at-home dad, the longest of you. So this might be your first convention, but you've been doing it a while.
How long are we talking? I'm 8.5 years.
7 years.
7,
I'm still 8.5.
13 of
13.
There you go.
Do I have more than 13? 13 going once. 13? 13? All right. One of the things that I can say is there are people in the book like me who are quoted in it. So if you wanted autographs of people that are in the book, we're here, and you can get them while they're here. Ross already done it.
I've
Yes,
got a
sir.
whole table of contents in the back.
He does, he does. So, there's that.
We should be good.
All right.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, he's right.
Yeah.
All right. So, one of the things that we decided as a board is that we all know about the challenge coins, right?
Yeah.
One of the qualifications to get this that we agreed upon is that
Go ahead.
those that have served a full term on board, and that will have been Keith and Matt.
No, Ed.
Oh, Ed. Sorry, Ed.
I
That guy. Ed.
Let her know. Yeah. We especially have to thank Ed. He's not continuing on, obviously, but he's done a lot of good work as our treasurer, and it's been really important for us to have guys like Ed on the board. So if you have financial background and you want to help out, let us know. But Ed has been pretty important in making sure that this organization stays up and running. So thank you, Ed. And thank you, Keith, as vice president, has kept me in check, and he's been a real big help in making sure that the organization is running smoothly as well.
It's
So
been huge for the hotel stuff.
Yes.
hotel stuff too, absolutely. So thank you, Keith, for all the hard work you did.
You got me on for years.
That's right.
I say, I already have one, so I can't get a second.
All right.
Hey, are you gonna let Hogan do that?
No.
No, absolutely not. Why would we do that?
So could I have Hogan come on out, please? As most of you know, we have the Hogan Hilling Award. And the Hogan Hilling Award is for guys who volunteer their time without, being asked to, really. They give themselves for dads and for the dad community. And it was pretty unanimous who we would give this to. So we're gonna have Hogan, since he's here, give it to him. He did a lot of work this year in really supporting, especially the dads who couldn't make it here. That's always something, our scholarship fund is something that is very important to us. But he did so much work for us, there was no question that it had to go to Joe Saladino.
And you got it from the man himself.
Yeah, my voice.
You did some great work this year, and it's been great to have you just stay with it. You had a great team, too, right? But you really led it with your enthusiasm and your passion for what it is that you do, so thank you.
Hey, you got any numbers for us?
A lot.
There's been a lot.
More.
Okay.
Can I just say a couple things real quick?
Absolutely.
No.
Please do.
I just want to tell you that I was totally surprised that the board years ago actually they were looking for me. I wasn't around. Somebody found me and said, you got to get in that room. I can tell you that I wouldn't be the person I am and the father I am today if it wasn't for this event. So 1991 is when I became an at-home dad, and I jokingly said, that's when I came out of the pantries, because that's kind of how I dealt with it, because, I was kind of hiding a little bit. And so for 5 years, I was at home, I was very comfortable, and I'm driving in the car in Los Angeles, and I hear this interview on the radio, and it's one of the people in my life who made a great impact on me as a dad. His name is Casey Spencer. And he's talking about how great it is, and how he's got, you could tell that he's really got this badge of honor that he got an at-home dad. So I called the radio station, because at that time we didn't have playgroups, and I felt so alone. And when Casey was out there publicly admitting that he was an at-home dad, it made me feel pretty good. So I called him up, I called the radio station, they called me up, or Casey called me, we had a conversation, and he really energized me, and he said, oh yeah, we're starting a play group, and by the way, did you know there's a convention in Chicago? I go, no. So they had the annual convention the year before. So I went the second year, and I met Marty Josephson, and I met Jim DeCenzo, and those guys were just unbelievable. They didn't really give a shit. They said, we're at-home dads. They wore the badge on there, and then I met an incredible group of dads after that. But they really made a big turnaround for me. And through the years, I met other new dads, and they said the impact that the convention had on them, and it confirmed, for me. And so I was able to volunteer my time for the National Adult Dad Network. And for me, it kept me busy because, you know, I was giving something of myself to others, and I got back, plus I was raising my kids. And again, I got to thank my wife at the time. She was very supportive of me participating. And so it was a way for me to, you know, give back to the community. And so the last convention I attended was the 20th. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'd come back, just for various reasons, because my life was going off in a different direction. So for some of you that don't know, last year I sold my house and decided to take off an RV and travel the 49 continental United States.
Hell yeah.
And I can't go to Hawaii because there's no bridge there yet. But anyway, so I wound up driving along, and I'm sharing this story because you guys talk about the brotherhood. And this journey I've been on has been so freaking amazing, because along the way I have been blessed that I know Adult Dad Network, the Adult Dads across the country. I have friends across the country. And you know, you don't see people for years and you wonder if they really want to see you. And I had situations where guys were calling me up on Facebook, messaging me and saying, well, why aren't you coming this way? Why aren't you coming by here? The next thing you know, the list grew. And I got to reunite myself with other at-home dads. And by the time I got to Nebraska, after visiting Phil, Andrew, and Mike and this, I talked to another dad, and after he told me his story, I really walked to the parking lot and I cried. Because I was so overwhelmed by the love, generosity, and sincerity that everybody was showing me on this trip. And then I made my way to Louisville, Kentucky, and some at-home dad by the name of Brock wanted to know why I wasn't coming by his place, because I was only an hour and a half away, right? And I said, what the heck? You know, I never met the guy, but he wants to see me. Next thing I know, I get introduced to Danny Mercer. And he's so excited about, oh wow, man, I got to meet you, man, I got your award. I got to tell you, the energy and the love I felt from these two guys was freaking amazing. So, you know, they kind of convinced me to come here, and I was a little hesitant because I was on another journey, and I didn't know if I'd be able to make it to Phoenix. So fast forward, there's another reason why I'm doing this trip, but I'm not going to get into it. But I had to finish the top 24 states in a certain amount of time, and I wound up actually meeting Danny for the first time. And he was so gracious, as everybody has been who I've met here. Cooked me a home-cooked meal, and you know, we sat and smoked a cigar, had a drink, had a great time, got to learn some more about Danny, what an asshole he was when he met his wife. At least she thought he was, right?
Yep.
So anyway, in closing, I mean, I never imagined that the Adult Dad Brotherhood would have such an impact on my life, even at age 67. I mean, the guys have been phenomenal. I feel so blessed that Brock and Danny encouraged me to come here, because I want to come back again.
See you next year.
Yeah, and everybody here has been so, thank you. Everybody here has been so gracious, and again, you know, I feel honored that the board would put my name on this award, and every recipient that I've seen definitely deserved that. I know every one of them. Joe I just met, but I know how much he's done by people have talked about you to me, Joe, and so you definitely deserve this award. And as always, I end by keep on daddying. Thank you.
All right, we are about to wrap.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
I just need to move the video a little bit. There we go.
All right. So, last but not least is announcement time for next year, 2023. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do not have sound.
Never mind. Pause. We're going to a mountain.
In America, it's also
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I got you.
I mean, it says right there.
Too many things. Hold on. Okay.
Everybody close their eyes.
Here we go. Ready?
This time for sure.
when anyone asks about our city, you know, the Blue City, the Cream City, the city of festivals and fish fries and summertime fun, it's hard to express it in just a few words because it's way more than America's favorite foods and America's oasis of old fashions and the heart of outdoor art. It's also a culinary convergence where cheese curd county, the frozen custard capital of the world, and the coffee acropolis all come together. It's where worst is first, unless it's chorizo, Polish, hot dog, or Italian. Heck, it's even the birthplace of cheesehead. Our city, home of the domes and the Flying Art Museum on the water. It's the headquarters of Harvard and the tavern that rolls and floats, where fruits fly and bands rise. Tavern Town? That's us. The Supper Club Sanctuary? Guilty. The last bastion of bar dice? The Midwest Independent Movie Theater Mecca and Settlement Sausage? That's us too. We're a city sought out by adventure a cycling citadel, a freshwater surfing sanctuary, the kingdom of urban kayaking, where even kites are captivated. It's the city built by blues, the beer garden boomtown, the Bloody Mary metropolis of America, the province of Polka, the spy sanctuary of the, well, simply put, it's a great place on a great lake. It's Milwaukee, and yes, it's totally branded and totally wonderful. So stop by and let us show you around.
So where are we going?
One of the things that, no, I'm good. One of the things that's not in this video, and it made this man very happy very quickly, is there's a Fonz statue in downtown.
Life-size bronze Fonzie.
That's worth it to see that.
So, anyway, we're really excited to go to Milwaukee. A lot of you guys know Greg Clapp. Greg is boots on the ground guy for next year. He's got a good team of dads down there that are really active, so we're really looking forward to working with him and the guys down there in Milwaukee next year. So,
Yes.
so yes, that's the other part of this puzzle, and we've talked about this before, but I'll bring it up again. What we've done is we've really worked hard on doing RFPs for different cities across the country to try and see who can give us a good deal, but make it worth our while.
What's an RFP?
Request for proposal.
Request for proposal. In the past, we had never done that before. We'd always kind of said, that's where we want to go, and then we try to work out. And with the RFPs, we've really been able to build a reservoir of places that we might want to go in the future. And Milwaukee stood out pretty quickly because of how quickly they responded back. Some places didn't respond at all. Some places only gave us one or two. And some places gave us tons of options, and they were really expensive. So it's been a great process for this organization to be able to keep our money in check, but also find new and interesting places for us to go that we might not have been before. So that's how we ended up with Milwaukee.
And that pitch. And the pitch that he gave.
Oh, yes, that's true. So the other part of that, yeah, thank you for mentioning that. In the past, we've had guys saying, come to my city, and then they don't give us anything, they don't explain why, they just say, you should come here, it's really awesome. And Greg gave us like a 5-6 page report. Here's where the hotel is.
With
This is how far it is to get to this place.
Graphics,
With
maps,
with
pictures.
with directions and distance to, and here's public transportation, and here's how far away the airport was. It's like the kind of report that we would hope to get in the future. But Matt, you wanted to say?
No, that was it.
All right, thank you. So, you know, if you are interested in having HomeDadCon come to your town, let us know, but just be aware what we're hoping you can provide us as reason to go.
Just so you're aware.
Yes, sir.
Greg Clapp says, Paul Gordon and other dads will be doing the work too. It's going to be a group effort. I'm excited to introduce and reintroduce you to Milwaukee.
Thank you, Greg.
Chicago's only 100 miles south, just so you know. It's about an hour, 45 hour and a half.
You're awesome.
Cool.
John?
Both, so
We have a general idea of a date.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What was the,
oh yeah.
Whoops.
No,
September
September
22nd.
15 through 17? What?
September 22nd.
That was October.
No,
It
was like the 22nd. 22nd of September.
Yeah.
One of the the weekend days.
Yes.
Thank you.
We've agreed on the date, we just don't.
October 22nd and 23rd.
September.
September. 22nd.
September. It's September.
Yes, September.
Yes.
Okay, September 22nd and 23rd of 2023. Right. I personally hope that you guys really got a lot out of the last 2 days, that you've created new bonds, that you have reconnected with guys that you may have lost touch with or haven't had a lot of time to spend time with. And I hope I will see you all again next year. And I wanted to thank the planning committee as well. I might have been sitting on it, but a lot of those guys did so much work to make this happen. So give them a round of applause. And with that, we're out.
We would, if you can stick around and help out with different things, that would be great. Like, kind of pick up a little bit, I guess, I don't know.
We gotta pack up a lot of stuff,
Tables and chairs?
things.
We're stacking tables and chairs?
Oh, no, they'll do that.
I'll do that.
By the way. It's the fun.